The nation's airports seeing a big rush ahead of the Thanksgiving weekend. The record-shattering number of travelers hitting the skies throughout the country and how Austin's airport compares.
And tonight at 5, I'll be tracking a cold front and how it'll impact your Thanksgiving and holiday weekend forecast.
The Thanksgiving travel rush is on, with the nation's airports packed with travelers in the final hours before the big holiday weekend. TSA is in the middle of its busiest Thanksgiving travel season in history, as the agency expects to screen more than 18 million Americans. According to AAA, nearly 6 million travelers are taking to the skies for the holiday weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Will Dupree, and tonight for Daniel Marine.
And I'm Jennifer Sanders. TSA says nearly 3 million passengers are expected at airports today alone. And here in Austin, the holiday hustle is in full effect. The Austin airport has been busy today with travelers rushing to get to their Thanksgiving destinations. An airport spokesperson said staff members are working outside of their usual schedule to prepare for the holiday rush.
You'll see several Department of Aviation staff with their vests. It's usually bright yellow or orange. They're here volunteering their time apart from their normal shifts to help travelers as they come through today. We've also worked with all of our partners to make sure that they're adequately staffed as well.
And although TSA is expecting record numbers across the country, the Austin airport is anticipating a crowd of about 30,000 passengers today, which is a standard amount for AUS. If you choose not to take the skies this Thanksgiving, though, you are in good company. AAA projects a record 71.7 million people will hit the road for their Thanksgiving destination. That's up by more than 1 million from just last year.
And the best time to start your road trip to avoid heavy traffic is between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. For many drivers, there's also something else to be very thankful for. Gas prices are down about 20 cents a gallon compared to last year.
Going in depth, current TSA travel projections show this year's Thanksgiving travel season will break last year's record. Last year, TSA saw more than 2.7 million travelers pass through the nation's airports the day before Thanksgiving. And today, the agency is expecting to see closer to 3 million.
Okay, meteorologist Tommy House joining us now. So Tommy, a lot of flights are being threatened by severe weather across the country. But what parts of the U.S. are really seeing the most activity as people get ready to head out?
Yeah, you know, Lone Star State will be dry. We have a cold front moving through, but it's going to be a dry one. And we'll be talking about that full travel forecast, especially New England, maybe even the I-95 corridor could be getting some storms down to the southeast. But local forecast real quickly, Bee Cave, Covert, Bee Cave, Auto Mile camera, one of our newer cameras. Pretty good shot there. Some low-level clouds as our sun is beginning to set in the upcoming few minutes. 78, we should be in the upper 60s this time of year. We're much warmer than that, and we'll be dealing with these temperatures slowly starting to fall once that front does move through. Find your city here, 76 in Georgetown, 81 Bastrop, 82 Llano, 83 Mason, San Saba County, you're at 84 with those wind speeds up to 10 to 15 miles per hour. An occasional gust up to 25 to 30 miles per hour, but overall we're not really that gusty yet. Once the front swings through, that's when things could change. Here's where the front is currently located. Few showers up toward the Panhandle, but notice some cloud cover continuing to build in. It's going to be a cloudy but cooler Thanksgiving. So next 18 hours dropping back down to the 40s, and we'll go day by day on my full forecast. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for your travel forecast. If you're flying and driving, we'll talk about your Thanksgiving forecast and when will it rain. I'll have answers in just a bit.
All right, Tommy, thank you so much. Attorney General Ken Paxton's office is suing 3 huge investment firms, claiming the companies violated antitrust laws, forcing you to pay more for power. The lawsuit claims it happened through climate activism, which in turn reduced coal production and made energy prices soar.
Texas is one of 10 states suing BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. KXAN's Barrett Tryon talked to an expert on what happens now.
This is a federal antitrust case. These things are complicated.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton joining 10 other attorneys general to sue 3 of the largest investors in the world. At stake, the suit claims, is by controlling the supply of coal, they caused the price of fuel to rise.
The allegation is that they have, pushed green, green energy policies which would reduce the production of coal.
The suit also claims, quote, these firms deceived thousands of investors in non-environmental, social, and governance funds to maximize their profits.
3 very, very powerful investment houses. You're going to be very well represented by very good lawyers.
UT Law professor Randy Urban notes this is something that will take a long time to move through the court.
It's going to take probably years in order to get some, final resolution unless they reach some settlement.
In a statement, BlackRock says in part, quote, "The suggestion BlackRock has invested money in companies with the goal of harming those companies is baseless and defies common sense. This lawsuit undermines Texas's pro-business reputation and discourages investments in the companies consumers rely on."
For, the average consumer, will it make a difference in their electric bill overnight? Probably not. And it depends on, it just depends on, the resolution of this case.
A slow-moving process that could be years away from a solution. In Austin, Barrett Tryon, KXAN News.
Vanguard and State Street have not immediately responded for our requests for comment.
President-elect Donald Trump has chosen health economist and Stanford University professor Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, a vocal critic of pandemic lockdowns, to lead the National Institutes of Health. Trump said in a statement, Bhattacharya will work with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to, quote, direct the nation's medical research and to make important discoveries that will improve health and save lives. His nomination would have to be approved by the Senate. Trump also announced Jim O'Neill, a former HHS official, will serve as deputy secretary of the agency.
Several people who work in the golf division of Austin Parks and Recreation are facing accusations of misusing city resources and abusing their positions for personal gain. That's according to a report by the Office of the City Auditor and a Parks and Rec spokesperson. The report said that one employee ran a golf club repair business while on the clock. Several other employees are also accused of holding golf clinics and choosing themselves to be paid instructors. In a statement, the Parks Department told us its human resources team will work with management to review and report and determine next appropriate steps.
A new H-E-B store is on its way to an underserved community in southeast Austin. H-E-B is expanding with a new spot on McKinney Falls Parkway and William Cannon Drive. This location will be the closest to Del Valle the company has ever built. H-E-B says the store is aimed at supporting the growth in the area that it's seeing and to help out with new developments. The company is also making a $1 million donation to support affordable housing. Construction on the new store is expected to start sometime next year, and an opening date is expected for late 2027.
The season of giving has arrived, and the Central Texas Food Bank truly embodies the spirit of helping our neighbors in need in a huge way.
And this month alone, the food bank is giving away an unprecedented 30,000 turkeys, holiday sides, and even fresh produce at more than 20 locations.
Very impressive. KXAN photojournalist Frank Martinez takes us inside the food bank's effort to ensure everyone gets to enjoy a holiday meal.
All right, big turkey here.
I do all the food ordering for these distributions, so at a minimum, I'm ordering 50% fresh produce.
All right, so have a good day.
I feel special, so I give thanks to God for them, for every one of them.
Two,
and everybody that's volunteering here.
I started doing this during COVID. I retired right when COVID hit the fan. A lot of things I wanted to do, I couldn't do. Things were shut down. The food pantry started doing these outdoor events, and it really spoke to me because everybody needs food. It's kind of that communal experience.
I appreciated the food they're giving us, so now my family can eat.
Just a couple of weeks ago, we were serving about 65,000 families per week, and now we're serving 93,000.
This is going to be a 1.
So the cost of people going grocery shopping is on the rise, and these distributions help alleviate that cost for families.
Our good friend cold front is on the way, and it's going to cool us down tonight to kick off Turkey Day. We're talking highs staying in the low 60s.
In New York, final preparations are underway for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Bands are doing their final rehearsals, floats are getting the final touch, and the balloons are taking shape. NBC's Jay Gray has more now from the Big Apple.
Good evening, and we've been talking a lot lately about inflation, but this is the good kind on the upper west side of Manhattan. Take a look behind me. They are getting ready for tomorrow's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade that will wind through the streets of New York, and what a parade it should be. All of the balloons, all of the floats, the clowns, the marching bands, though tomorrow it looks like we may also have an uninvited guest.
The Macy's Parade marches rain or shine, so we're excited for tomorrow. We're ready for tomorrow, and we can't wait to have a parade.
Yeah, a pretty good chance of rain during the parade tomorrow, and will likely clear out of the New York area once the parade has finished. Let's talk a little bit about what you're going to see. 17 featured character balloons, including Minnie Mouse this year for the first time, a refurbished Spider-Man back after a decade away in fighting crime, 22 floats, 11 marching bands, 700 clowns, and just a parade of stars. Should be a lot of fun. It's a big Thanksgiving morning tradition for folks all across the country. We hope you'll be watching. That's the latest right now from here in New York. I'm Jay Gray, NBC News.
And the Lone Star State is bringing some Texas pride to the Big Apple tomorrow for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Flower Mound High School's marching band will be among the 11 bands featured in the parade. East Texas's Kilgore College Rangerettes, the precision and drill team, will also join the procession. And from Central Texas, 5 officers from the Bowie High School Silver Stars competitive dance team will be in that procession, as well as a group of Lockhart ISD Lionettes. And then the Cedar Park Celebrities Dance Team will participate with the Spirit of America Performance Ensemble. And be sure to support the Texas performers by tuning in to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade starting tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. on KXAN.
We'll all be watching. As the holiday season approaches, federal officials are warning of counterfeit luxury items and offering tips on how to protect yourself. Customs and Border Patrol is putting out guidance on how to protect yourself from counterfeits with tips like these. Trust your instincts. Only purchase online from reputable platforms. Look at the reviews when shopping online and inspect the product, packaging, and branding. Last year, CBP agents seized $23 million worth of knockoff items.
All right, Tommy, some of my friends on the East Coast, they're sending pictures of the snow, the cold, and I said, you know, we're not wearing jackets, we're not wearing boots, we're enjoying the sunshine.
I know, you're so. I know. I was
We
taking
can't
out
say
my
much.
dog. I grew up in the Boston area. If my family saw me, they would make fun of me. I had 2 blankets on last night over my shoulders, taking out my
How
dog.
Texas changes you.
Yes.
65 degrees. But yeah, let's talk about the forecast if you plan on traveling to the Northeast. We have a low pressure smack dab in the middle of the country. Few light showers, nothing severe at the moment, but that could change tomorrow. Some severe weather for portions of the south and east along a cold front, and a lot of snow for New England, northern parts of New York, Maine. Pennsylvania could be getting some snow, Massachusetts and the Berkshires. And for Friday, things should taper down a little bit. Notice across the southern plains where we are, we're dealing with no sort of weather. It's going to be nice and on the cool side in the 50s and 60s, and that's the case for most of the country. Cooler than average high temperatures, maybe some lake effect snow for Saturday. So if you're flying into places like, let's say, Cleveland, Detroit, Buffalo, and you're trying to fly back to Austin, things may be a little bit dicey in terms of delays if you're in that lake effect snow bands, but most of the country should be dealing with dry weather. And for your Sunday, more lake effect snow for western parts of New York, but about 99% of the country, weather is looking pretty good for the second half of the holiday weekend. Right now, localized weather. Here's our West Shore home camera, Central Austin. The sun is beginning to set. We have a nice vibrant scene there, some clouds. And that will be the case with increasing clouds overnight tonight ahead of a cold front. Current temperature is 77 in Austin, 76 Georgetown, 77 in Cameron, 80s out toward the hill country. Winds are really gusty out of the southwest up to 30 miles per hour today. And a front's moving through in the next few hours between 6 and 8 p.m. for San Saba County. How about 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. for us in Austin, and south of Fayette County, 10 p.m. to midnight. Here's the front right now. This front will be dry, so no rain at all with this front as it slides on through from north to south, but a few showers may get kicked up across the deep south. So if you are driving tomorrow morning east of Houston, maybe a bit wet on the roads, but most of Texas will be dealing with dry weather, maybe a spot shower here and there, but for the most part, no need for that umbrella or rain jacket. So mostly cloudy conditions for your Thanksgiving here at Austin. 49 for a little turkey trot out the door running. I may be running one, maybe not. Just depends on how I feel in the morning, of course. 55 by noon, and then 61 if you're playing football with the friends and family outside. Temperatures will be on the chilly side, so a sweatshirt and sweater if you're going to be any sort of outdoor plans for an extended period of time. If you're brave enough to stand outside in the cold, I won't be. It'll be nice and chilly Friday morning. Here's the freezing line, so portions of San Saba, Mason, and Gillespie County could be at that 32 mark. We'll stay in the upper 30s in Austin, and then Gillespie County on your Saturday morning. We'll be dealing with a nice little chilly 32 degrees. We'll stay in the upper 30s, 35 in Bastrop, Saturday 35 in Cameron. Tonight, 49, fronts moving through, and we'll have a nice little shift in winds and gusty conditions up to 30 miles per hour. Now, I would bring in and maybe secure small plants. I don't think it's going to be anything above 30 miles per hour, but just in case, and I know some people already reached out saying they're going to be covering their plants. That's a smart idea with our lows in the 30s. Here's how the next 7 days look. Texas going up to College Station, 65 on Saturday, and we'll stay in the 60s and maybe some showers. Not a big rain signal early next week, but we're keeping that 40% there. We need every single drop of rain as we are in an extreme drought. And that's your first warning weather, 7-day forecast.
All right, Tommy, thank you so much. We'd like to shine a light on stories of inspiring women here in Central Texas. You can go to KXAN.com to nominate someone from the community. Look for the Remarkable Women tab on our homepage. Our local winner will travel to LA, where 125 women from around the nation will be honored. The national winner will then get $25,000 that will go to the nonprofit of her choice. You can send in those nominations right now. We're taking them until December 20th.
For the first time in more than a year, there is no fighting in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah.
And the Biden administration brokered ceasefire deals went into effect this morning, with the Lebanese taking to the streets in celebration and thousands heading back home.
This deal only affects Lebanon, but what about Gaza? NBC's Alice Barr reports now from Washington.
In a major Middle East breakthrough, a U.S. negotiated ceasefire between Israel and Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants in Lebanon appears to be holding, quieting the skies across the border after more than a year of deadly bombings, and sending Lebanese civilians who had fled the south rushing home.
This is designed to be a permanent cessation of hostilities.
President Biden celebrated the agreement that requires Israel to withdraw from Lebanon over 60 days, replaced by UN peacekeepers and the Lebanese National Army. Hezbollah set to retreat north of the Litani River.
If Hezbollah tries to attack us, if it arms itself, if it rebuilds infrastructure next to the borders, we will attack them.
A fragile peace to Israel's north, while to the south, the fighting in Gaza against Hamas rages on. Families of Israeli and American hostages still held captive in Gaza are calling the ceasefire with Hezbollah, a close ally of Hamas, a missed opportunity to bring the hostages home.
We again, on the eve of Thanksgiving, will need to see an empty chair at our dinner table with a missing family member.
The Biden administration sees an opening for a Gaza truce, launching a new push with regional partners.
We believe that now that we have a ceasefire in Lebanon, the pressure will only grow on Hamas to reach a deal.
Significant hurdles remain. Hamas has so far insisted on a definitive end to the war in order to release hostages, a step too far for Israeli leadership, though cautious hopes for peace are growing. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Some special holiday programming is coming up tonight on KXAN. First, a sneak peek behind the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That starts at 7, followed by Saturday Night Live at 8, looking back on the show's best Thanksgiving sketches over the years. Then join us right back here for KXAN News at 10.
Or you can join us an hour earlier for KXAN News at 9 o'clock on CW Austin.